Alright.
We don't have time to wait. If we don't do this now, the cops will come back. What are you trying to say? Something we don't know. What don't we know? But we just heard the guy's true feelings on TV! What didn't you understand? Well, what is it? I already told you there's no time to waste. Are you even getting at something here, or are you just stalling? Missing? Like what exactly? Damn it, I've heard enough of this bullshit. Give me a straight answer! Are we doing this or not? That's all I give a damn about right now.
He's right. Let's all calm down for a second.
I'm perfectly calm.
Hey, what did you mean by we're missing something?
What's there to miss with a sick bastard like him?
Hey, let's all take a deep breath. After what happened to Nanako-chan and seeing Dojima-san, we're not thinking straight right now.
Fine.
You're right. We should calm down and think rationally about this. I realize now that we've heard almost nothing from Namatame's perspective. There's no denying that this man brought great harm to Nanako-chan. But other than that point, the rest comes from our assumptions based on watching the Midnight Channel a moment ago. I won't deny that we were blinded by the heat of the moment, trying to impute all responsibility to him rashly.
But... yeah, the guy's not saying anything. Whatever reason he had, there's no doubt about the fact that he'd been throwing people inside the TV. It was him who put Senpai through that misery. How can we possibly understand someone who says killing people is the same as saving them?
Failing to understand and failing to listen are rather different things. Truthfully, not all the hitches that were nagging at me have been answered yet. We'll have to see what he can tell us about them, though it appears he's in no condition to do so at the moment.
True. Dealing with him right now might not solve all the things that are bothering us. Damn it. But you better remember this. I'll do everything I can to stop him from repeating what he's done. Anytime, anywhere, anything. Jeez, how the hell can you stay so calm, man? Then again, that's why you're our leader. All right, let's go ahead and think this through as much as we need.
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, we'll just be lying to ourselves. Yeah, that ain't gonna cut it.
Thank you. I'll think as hard as I can and try to help.
We all know how you feel, Yosuke. Come on, we've accomplished this much together, haven't we? Right, together.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. And thanks.
We have reached max rank for Fool. About time too. Oh, did you think it was over? Oh, no, 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 no. Meet our judgment.
Hey, you guys? What are you doing? You can't be in here.
Oh, crap!
We were keeping an eye on the suspect. The police officers outside seem to have their hands full helping Dojima-san. If Namatame were to escape, it would be a disaster for the police's reputation, and their trust in you, Adachi-san.
Oh, I see. We'll tighten security from now on, and I'll arrange for him to be transported out as soon as possible. So, if you guys can keep quiet about being in here, I'd really appreciate it.
How is he, Doctor? He seemed to be extremely agitated a moment ago.
He seems fine for now.
Does he?
He really needs his rest.
He looks like he's not doing alright,
Outside,
okay.
everyone. Doctor's orders.
Understood.
We should go too. Let's get back to Nanako-chan's room. So what's this thing we're missing, huh?
To tell the truth, there's something that's bothering me too. Why did he start killing people in the first place?
Well, he said himself it was to save them, right? So he killed his lover in order to save her and kept going?
The police speculated the first murder was related to the affair, so they called in Namatame for questioning. But everything in his testimony and his bearing, no matter what they looked at, they found nothing suspicious. If he truly is twisted enough to believe that murder is a means of saving people, I think that would have shown through.
Maybe he faked it real well. Or maybe he started out with a normal motive and got a taste for killing after the first time.
No, if that were the case, his motive for killing that announcer would be even more inexplicable. Namatame and his wife were separated at the time. Both Misuzu Hiragi and himself testified that she had discarded him. Hiragi also knew about Yamano beforehand, and Namatame was shocked to hear of Yamano's death. Their relationship was known and was not strained to the point of murder. There's simply no motive in the affair angle. The police invested a great deal of effort into investigating this point. Therefore, we have no convincing motive for Namatame to kill Mayumi Yamano, although her name was written in Namatame's own diary.
His reason for killing her.
It's still possible that he was crazy to begin with and no one realized, right?
I don't really get any of this.
Oh, this is so confusing!
Hey, we could hear you in there. This is a hospital. Maybe you should quiet down a little.
Oh, there you are, all of you. Please come with me immediately.
Huh? What's going on?
What are you waiting for? Hurry, go!
Where am I? Is this Teddy's world? This doesn't quite feel like it, though. I remember being at the hospital. That's right, Nana-chan. I couldn't do anything. Why do I even exist? I couldn't keep my promise. I lost my reason to be there. That's it. I remember now. So, it was true. Guys! Sensei! What should I do?
Oh, there they are. Nanako-chan came around.
Huh? What did you just say?
Nanako-chan's alive?
Are you serious?
It's very rare to be resuscitated after one's heart and lungs fail, but it does happen. But until I know why she collapsed in the first place, I can't say for sure how well she'll recover from here on. Still, Nanako-chan's a fighter, and she's trying desperately to stay alive.
So this isn't a joke? You're actually telling the truth?
Nanako-chan. Oh my god. I...
This is amazing!
Miracles do happen. I'm so glad.
I didn't know what I was gonna do.
Come on! Stop crying, you two!
You all should go home for the night. I'll speak with Dojima-san tomorrow about Nanako-chan's treatment. It's rather chilly outside. If it starts snowing, be careful not to catch a cold.
Wait a second, where's Teddy? I noticed he didn't come with us when we went to Namatame's room.
You're right. That's weird. I figured he wouldn't move from Nanako-chan's side.
Teddy, where did you go?
Oh yeah, he has a cell with him. Wait, I shouldn't use mine inside the hospital. I'll try calling him up once we're outside.
Oh, I love this game. So yeah, the bad ending. Nanako doesn't recover. But she does here. Yay. Oh,
There you are.
it's so happy.
I forgot to tell you. Don't pull that again, okay? You can't just meet with the suspect like that. Anyway, I came to give you an update on Dojima-san. His wounds opened up a little, but he's treated now and he's fast asleep. He'll be alright, don't worry. Knowing him, by this time tomorrow, he'll be on his feet and yelling at people again. Don't tell him I said that. Anyway, I heard Nanako-chan's on the road to recovery again. You guys were being so dramatic that I got really worried. But this is good news. She'll be well again in no time. By the way, you're all alone at the house now, right? Well, enjoy your freedom while you can. Dojima-san and Nanako-chan will be back soon after all.
Good stuff.
Well, I better head back. You go home too, before it gets too late. See ya.
Couldn't save. I couldn't save. Why? Mayumi. And that girl too. I couldn't save them.
Huh? What's the matter? Feeling guilty all of a sudden? Sheesh.
I can't reach him. Did that stupid bear forget to charge the battery?
We took a quick look around the hospital, but there's no sign of him. I wonder where he went.
Oh, it's snow.
Hey, you're right. Wow, it's been a while since I last saw real snow. It doesn't look that pretty, though, because of this fog.
I guess this makes it the first snow of the year. It's freezing. Let's go home. Hey, Yosuke, if you find Teddy, don't forget to contact us, alright?
Let me just check something quick. Okay, yeah, there are some quests that I could open up. Some. I will try and do it.
Let's meet up at the special headquarters tomorrow.
I might have messed up by not going to class straight away, I'm unsure. Well, maybe not.
Man, that Ted. I hope he just went back home by himself. He's probably fine. But I'll hurry home just in case. Well, see you tomorrow.
Yeah, there we go. We're on the path to the good ending. Time to go home. Told you there was a lot of plot, and there's still a lot more to come. But for now, we should save. Yeah, that was an emotional time. What lies ahead from now on? We'll see. We'll see. Oh, before I do this, just gonna skip over to something else. There we go.
Welcome.
Hi.
It's been quite some time.
It sure has.
Do not be alarmed. You are fast asleep in the real world. I have summoned you within your dreams. Now then, your journey has taken you quite a distance thus far. Do you believe you'll be able to successfully solve this mystery? Splendid! The precise destination of this vehicle, that too is getting rather hard to judge. If we continue driving blindly, we may end up leading you further away from the mystery that you must reach. Well, why don't we take a moment to look back on your journey? It was for that purpose that I summoned you here tonight. Margaret?
What's right? What you should choose to do in life? The answers to those things lie within you.
We are experiencing the words engraved into your memory during your journey.
Failing to understand and failing to listen are rather different things.
All right, let's go ahead and think this through as much as we need.
If we leave any unanswered questions behind, we'll just be lying to ourselves.
I'll think as hard as I can and try to help.
Come on. We've accomplished this much together, haven't we?
Right. Together.
And it seems you have comrades with you as well. Those heading in the same direction through this dense fog.
We'll be parked for the moment while I confirm our current heading.
As I mentioned previously, this year will signal a great change in your life. Though there isn't much time left, it can be worth your while to take the time to stop and reflect.
People are like water flowing in a river. There is only one stream, but all who pass through it are affected differently. Some travel fast. Some change their course, experiencing countless events as they travel down the river of time.
Just so. The state of this room reflects the scenery of your heart. Perhaps this may be a time for contemplation rather than action.
Good morning. Oh, yeah, I'm up. Hello?
Teddy's missing. I looked all over the neighborhood, but I couldn't find him anywhere. Yeah, me too. He was acting all weird lately. Rise and the others are checking inside the TV to see if he's gone back to the other side. We're meeting pretty soon, so will you come with me to Jeunesse?
It's no use, man. We can't find him.
No luck for me either. I didn't sense anything over there. The fog's so dense it might be affecting my readings. I wish I could do better. I'm sorry.
That Ted. Don't tell me he really went back to his world this time. We told him over and over that he could stay here. I guess that's all we can do right now. He plays dumb a lot, but he's attached to us deep down. He wouldn't disappear without saying anything, right?
I'm worried for Teddy myself, but let's trust in him and await his return. Right now, we must concentrate on the case. It won't be long before Namatame is transferred to another location. We must hurry, or we will miss our only chance to get his perspective on this.
You know, I've been thinking about the case since, but something just doesn't seem right.
Let's quickly review the facts. Of all the victims, only 2 were killed. Miss Yamano the announcer, and Saki-san. From the documents we found in the car, we know Namatame had some sort of dealings with them. After that, there were multiple attempted murders in which we were targeted. It was only when he took Nanako-chan that we caught him in the act, identifying his modus operandi in the process.
I thought it was modus operandi.
When I hear you put it like that, sounds like the dude's guilty.
As a result of Namatame's arrest, the police admitted that Mitsuo Kubo was a mere copycat killer.
Back up to yesterday. Remember when you said Namatame didn't have a motive to kill the announcer? That's what's bothering me.
Right. Either he's completely nuts, or we're misunderstanding something.
You lost me.
She's trying to say that if Namatame is sane, then there may be facts in the case we don't know about yet.
Sane or insane? Sounds like a play I saw before.
When he talks about saving people, what does that actually mean? I don't think there's any doubt that it includes kidnapping people and throwing them into the TV.
Could he mean saving them through death? He did call himself a savior, and said that the other side is a wonderful world.
So they'll be saved if they die? What a bunch of crap! The bastard should have gone and saved himself. What do you think, Senpai? If you think about it normally, it's gotta be him. But there ain't nothing normal about that world anyways.
There's something I've been wondering about for a while. When we first encountered him, he said, "You're the ones I saved. Don't worry, I'll save this girl too." So, if he saves people by killing them, did he save us too? Wouldn't he actually have failed to save us?
You raise a good point. If he thinks that salvation comes only through death, his words to us make no sense. And another thing, the Namatame who appeared on the Midnight Channel said he failed to save Nanako-chan.
Well, maybe he really was trying to save the victims by putting them inside the TV. Come on, don't get all quiet like that. You guys know I just say the first dumb thing that pops into my head.
The possibility that he truly intended to save us.
But he's still the one who threw in Saki-senpai and that announcer, right? Sure, we haven't nailed down his motives, but that doesn't change the fact that he killed them. Or what? You think someone else was involved? What makes you think so? Warning letter? Oh yeah! Whatever happened to that thing?
If Namatame's the killer, he must have been the one who wrote it, right?
Let's review them. Yes, that's right.
Isn't that kinda odd? Would someone who thinks he's saving people by killing them write stuff like, "Don't rescue or kill"?
Yeah, and the "will be put in and killed" part doesn't make sense either. If the killer was writing it, wouldn't it be more like, "I'll put in and kill"?
Hey, could this mean... Yeah, it's almost like someone else wrote this letter.
But only the killer would write such a letter and deliver it to Dojima-san's house, right? If someone else wrote it, that could only mean...
Dear God. Since this is such an unusual case, I was absolutely convinced that other than the Kubo incident, there was one culprit.
So, Namatame really was trying to save his victims?
Everything is exactly the opposite of what it first seemed. In Namatame's parlance, failing would have been the first 2 cases when the victims died. If he had used his method twice and failed both times, he would hardly have continued using the TV. And yet he did. It all seems to suggest that someone else wrote this warning letter while observing the entire case.
Someone else? Then, It wasn't Namatame that killed Saki-senpai and the announcer?
We can't say for certain yet.
It's good, ain't it?
We urgently need to speak with Namatame face to face.
I love this game. It's all so clever.
How though? After what happened yesterday, they said they're gonna tighten security.
I have a plan, but there's no time to waste. Let's hurry to the hospital.
Hey, this place is off limits.
I'm a consultant with the police. I'd like a few words with Namatame-san. May I go in?
This is Unit 252, requesting confirmation on an ID. Name of Naoto Shirogane. Huh? Ah. Understood. I see. Well, you're on the list. I can give you a few minutes, but I'll have to record your conversation with him for security purposes. Not that I expect you'll get anything coherent out of the guy. He's been spouting nothing but gibberish.
I'd like him to accompany me as well. He has no identification, but this is an emergency situation, and he's here in Detective Dojima's stead.
Huh? Detective Dojima sent him? I wasn't informed of this.
I'll vouch for his identity.
Well, I guess it's better than dealing with the man himself. We have our hands full with the transport procedures, so the last thing we need is Detective Dojima running wild. Detective Adachi is busy somewhere too. This is Unit 252. Huh? I see.
Has something happened?
There's something about a suspicious object out in the lobby.
Ah, well then, this works out nicely. You should back up your colleagues downstairs. We'll keep watch over Namatame-san. A disturbance in a hospital lobby, after all. It sounds serious.
If anything happens, hit the nurse call button. I'll leave the rest to you.
She's good.
Understood. Please be careful. I knew they were undermanned, but I didn't expect it to go this smoothly.
Wow!
Wow, I can't believe they chased after a Katatsu in the middle of the hospital.
There's nothing much inside that suspicious object, so he won't be gone long.
All right, and now's our chance to talk to Namatame.
Yo!
Namatame-san, there's something we'd like to ask you. It's tempting to think that you were the culprit behind this entire case. And to be honest, there are many in this town who hope you are. But we are here to learn the truth. So please, answer our questions.
Huh? No. If nobody saves them, they'll be killed. That's why I put them in there. They were killed. I couldn't save them.
Huh? Me?
Then tell me if my estimation is correct so far. After discovering the Yamano and Konishi incidents, you realized an appearance on the Midnight Channel meant certain death. Thus, to save her from that fate, you kidnapped Yukiko Amagi. You couldn't let her be killed, so you threw her into the TV, preventing the killer in this world from reaching her. And you repeated the process, as more individuals appeared on the Midnight Channel. It all falls into place. His body is weak, but his mind is sound. He's trying to tell us the truth.
Yeah, but if the stuff he's saying is true...
There's another killer who murdered the first two victims?
Indulge us in a few more questions.
What are you talking about? I didn't know. I never thought it would be that kind of place. I have no idea. I want to know that too.
As I thought.
You believe me? Did they find him? Did they find the one who did such cruel things? Mayumi.
Please calm down. Our ability to find the culprit rests on you. We know about the other world. In fact, we're the only ones who can fully understand what you have to say.
Only you?
We did blame you for everything at first. But now I think we can accept whatever you got to tell us as truth.
Please, tell us everything you can, calmly and slowly.
You're willing to listen? Do my story? All right. Soon after my affair with Mayumi became common knowledge, I returned to my parents' home, as if to run away from the scandal. And I started drinking heavily to drown my anxieties. I hadn't been able to reach Mayumi at all, and that didn't help either. Mayumi, where are you? She'd been disgraced on all the afternoon shows, and forced to resign from the program she was on. I caused her so much trouble. I wanted to at least apologize to her, but I couldn't even do that. I lost the will and energy to do anything. Then, one day, the rumor I heard some time ago came back to me. Since I had nothing better to do, I sat down blankly in front of the TV and watched my own reflection. And all of a sudden, there was Mayumi. Mayumi? Is that you? The Mayumi inside the TV looked as if she was calling to me for help. Mayumi? Mayumi! When I reached out unthinkingly to touch her, my arm disappeared into the TV, as if I had dipped it into a pool of water. I was so shocked that I lost my balance and nearly fell face first into the TV. I was so scared. I couldn't understand what just happened. I thought maybe I'd gone insane. In the end, I decided to think of it as just a dream, and I went back to the city the next day after finishing work. The next afternoon when I got to work, I was fired on the spot, as I expected. That wasn't what broke me, though. It was Mayumi being found dead. And not just that, but it had happened in my hometown. I was dumbstruck. But later on, I remembered the image of Mayumi I'd seen that night. Was it not a dream? Could it really have been an SOS from Mayumi? I hadn't touched another TV because the first time was so terrifying, but I decided to try it again, and I confirmed that none of it was a dream. So that image, was it something Mayumi showed me, calling for help? That's how I felt.
And eventually, you learned of the Midnight Channel.
I remembered that when Mayumi was alive, she was chasing a rumor about some bizarre TV program. I'd heard about it before, but I thought it was just an urban legend. But then Mayumi appeared on it, and later turned up dead. The more I thought about it, the harder it became to believe that the two events were unrelated. Soon after that, I came back to Inaba to answer the police's questions. I'd lost my job, and I wanted to know the truth of Mayumi's death for myself. Then, on another rainy night, someone else appeared on the Midnight Channel. She looked like she was calling for help, just like Mayumi. The first thing that came into my mind was, maybe this girl will be the next to die.
And that was Saki-senpai.
I'd been following all the news about Mayumi, so I noticed right away that she was the girl who found Mayumi's body. And if my hunch was right, she'd be the next victim. I didn't want her to die the way Mayumi did, so I desperately kept watching. I was consumed with the idea of rescuing her. Then, little by little, her image on the screen came into sharper focus.
It became sharper?
How did you find out it was her?
After I came back, my father couldn't bear to see me in such low spirits, and gave me a job with the family business. I met that girl when I delivered a package to the liquor store. After agonizing over it, I decided to meet her, and told her to be careful. But that same night, on the TV, she looked as if she was being engulfed by some black shape. She was writhing in pain. That's why I warned her. Why won't she pick up the phone? Come on, please! The next day, they found her dead. I knew she was gonna be murdered, but I couldn't save her. I blamed myself, thinking there must have been something I could have done. There was no one who depended on me. Nobody at work, not even my wife. Mayumi was the only one who accepted me for who I was. But she was murdered, and the same person killed another girl. I was beside myself. I couldn't forgive myself for doing nothing.
You really did love Miss Yamano.
Yes, from the bottom of my heart. Before I was married, my wife made it big in show business. I was happy for her, but it put a strain on our relationship.
I think I can kind of relate.
It was around that time when I met Mayumi. She was interviewing our candidate for the next election. She was a big-name announcer, but she only worked with local stations, and her attitude towards work was similar to mine. We both came from Inaba, so she was easy to talk to. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't help getting intimate with her. She gave meaning to my life. Soon after Saki-san was found dead, yet another girl appeared on TV. That was you. She'll be kidnapped next, and murdered. I can't let her end up like Mayumi and that other girl. This time, I'm gonna do something. My opponent was a murderer who left no clues to his identity. I thought hard about what I could do to protect her from someone like that. I'll never convince her. If she gets suspicious and they arrest me, who'll save her then? The girl inside the TV looked as if she was smiling at me. And that's when it hit me. Then, what if I put her into the TV and give her shelter there before the killer gets her? What are you trying to tell me? That it's safe over there? Is that it? The girl inside the TV seemed to smile at me again. And I thought, no matter what kind of place it might be, it's better than being slaughtered. Once things calm down, I could just let her out again. If she's inside the TV, there's no way they can find her. It felt as if everything was starting to come together in my mind. Could it be that Mayumi gave me that power to prevent any more victims from meeting her fate? Was it my mission to save people? But there was a big problem. If I explained the situation to the victim, they wouldn't understand. I had already tried that and failed miserably.
It's interesting you say that, Albax. That's not technically true. They only showed up on the TV after Saki because of public consciousness. Like, Yukiko was in the news report, therefore people were thinking about her, therefore she showed up on the Midnight Channel. But it wasn't actually the Midnight Channel that was sending them into the TV. So, had Namatame not interfered, nothing would have changed. Yukiko never would have went in there, and yeah, it would have been just as normal.
It seemed the only thing I could do was to take them away. If that was my mission, I'd just have to do it. Or so I thought. Mayumi, please lend me your strength.
So, since you thought people who appeared on the Midnight Channel would be killed, you kidnapped us in order to save us.
Mission? Give me a break! You never stopped and wondered about any of this?
But to Namatame's credit, he was not doing anything wrong per se. He had no idea, and he genuinely did think he was saving people. He tried.
I thought I was the only one who could help them. I did call the police, but they didn't believe me. I knew the area well, thanks to my job. I had a large truck, and I could move around without suspicion. I thought my job as a delivery man would be the perfect cover for my mission. I thought no one else could do it. But are you telling me that I wasn't saving them?
If a person is still within the TV world when the fog appears here, they will die. Beginning with Yukiko-san, the people you thought you had been saving were, in fact, in mortal peril. It was my friends here who really saved us all.
I had a feeling that was it. When I went after that little girl and entered the TV myself, for the first time, I had some doubts about myself.
You refer to Nanako-chan, correct?
The police were after me, so I had to get away. But I still felt I needed to do everything I could to save that poor little girl. That's why I went in after her. But the TV world was completely different than I imagined. Such an abominable, grotesque place.
You saw the nice-looking one as well.
I knew that the three of you who I saved went back to your normal lives, so I didn't realize how terrible that world was. I never knew you couldn't even get out of that place on your own.
No. That's a cowardly way to put it. I'd probably already begun to realize that it was a dangerous place. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have gone to see you all.
See us? Wait, are you talking about the concert we did at Junes?
Told you he was there.
Yes. I wanted to know why the ones I saved were all hanging out with each other, and how much you remembered. But in the end, I couldn't bring myself to say anything and ran home. I must have felt too guilty.
Yeah, he was sitting on the bench whilst they were all talking, backstage, and then he walked off.
But all the doubts and anxieties I'd been unconsciously suppressing exploded.
It's a really
out
nice
when
touch,
I entered
actually.
television myself.
It's, yeah, you don't notice it the first time.
I thought I was going insane. I probably did. And you know the rest. When I came to, I was lying in a hospital bed.
You really were trying to save people.
Yeah, I don't know why I said 3. It should be 4, but oh well.
But I ended up doing just the opposite. What a fool. I always wanted to enter the world of politics and become useful to society. But after losing my job and the woman I loved, all I had left was this power. I convinced myself that world was some sort of sanctuary, and I secretly believed myself to be a hero. I never doubted what I saw on TV, and believed everything was as I wanted it to be. I didn't think for myself at all. That's why I couldn't protect them. I'm to blame for all of this. I suppose so. But the things I've done are too serious to be brushed aside like that. I have no intentions of running away from my crimes. I'm prepared to face the consequences. Kidnapping is already a serious crime. And on top of that, I put all those lives in danger. I'm sorry.
The Midnight Channel and the other world? You can hardly be blamed for failing to understand them properly. We must apologize to you as well. Had we let our emotions blind us to the truth, we would have piled all the responsibility on you.
I guess from your point of view, people did stop dying once you started saving people. The more you did it, the more you really believed you were preventing their deaths.
I'm such a joke. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little tired.
What are you all crammed in here for?
My apologies. We'll be leaving now.
Wait. I beg you, please, find whoever's behind this. You children are the only ones who know about that world.
It's all clear now. He never committed any murders. It was another party who threw the first 2 victims into the TV.
The question is, who?
Now get out of here! I told you, he's almost ready to be transported. We can't have anything else happen.
That's Dojima, right? It's gotta be his voice actor.
I better not see you rascals here again.
It really does sound a lot like him.
Nanako-chan looks like she's in pain. She's fighting for dear life.
This was the last place we saw Teddy, right? He was so worried about her.
How can he flake out like this when we have to find the real killer?
The police consider the matter closed.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
have to do all the
Nanako's
investigation
the one.
from here on out. Let's revisit Saki-san and Miss Yamano's incidents and see if we can turn up fresh details.
Look at her. Healing like an angel. All part of her plan. The old fake the death routine. Very clever, Nanako. Very
But it's
clever.
been over 6 months. Wouldn't the trail be cold by now?
I know, but we can't give up. We're the only ones who understand what's really going on. And you never know. People might remember some things now because they've had so much time to think about it. Let's split up and talk to people all over town tomorrow. We'll meet up in the evening to discuss our findings.
I hope we can
Tomorrow's the
find out
day.
something about Teddy, too.
Tomorrow is the day we discover exactly who's behind everything. So let's do it. Go to sleep! I'm ready for this. It's very exciting. So, we must go to Shopping District North. And there'll be a shopping woman that we need to speak to. Probably her. No, it's not her. It's probably her then. Yes. The fog sure is dark and creepy, isn't it? Oh, you have a question for me? A little while ago, they said that a suspect had been caught. It was in the newspaper. It was, that Namatame-san, right? I remember seeing him around from time to time. Oh, how horrible. It really does frighten me. I don't recall seeing any other strange people, so I'm sure he's the culprit. Yeah, maybe he is the culprit. Let's check out Junez whilst we're here. Let's see if anyone else has anything. Can I help you? Suspicious person? Now that you mention it, my friend was saying she saw someone. I think she's just wandering around the shopping district, so why don't you ask her? Okay, fair enough. So, shopping district north, near the bookstore. Not you then. not this man. What is it? Huh? Someone told you I saw a suspicious person? Oh, that! You remember Saki Kanishi, don't you? You know, she passed away a while ago. She told me how that Namatame person came to her one day and started spouting all this craziness. Something about the TV. I wonder what that was all about. His relation to Saki? Hey, I don't know what you're implying, but you've got it all wrong. Saki was a good girl. It's just that people misunderstood her. Now you must talk to everyone in town and ask if they recall anyone suspicious. A suspicious person? No, I can't think of anyone. Not from this town, anyway. Fair enough. Attack on Inaba. I assume it doesn't mean the party, because that would be kind of pointless. But once you've talked to everyone and asked if they know people. Vizette came and spoke to me! Oh my god! No, I don't think I've seen any suspicious people, except for you, who's interrupting my conversation with Rosette. Fair, okay. There isn't anyone like that in this town. I even know you. You're that kid who's staying at Dojima-kun's house. Yep, that's me. It's one more person. Oh no, two more people. You're wearing a gas mask. That's me. Do you recognize me? Oh, sorry, I just seen on news about it. Just defending. You have a question. It's a small town. If there's anyone suspicious, there'd be rumors going around all over. But at least I haven't heard any news or rumors like that, so I'd say there's no such person. Have I spoken to everyone? I guess I haven't spoken to her again. Nope, don't think so. Do I have to speak to our team? No. I don't know. I forget what I specifically have to do. I have to talk to everyone in town about it. Maybe I have to go back to Junez. I will talk to our party just in case. Because you never know. Yeah, I'll go to Junez. Oh, unless there's someone in the shrine. I didn't check that, actually. I'll double check. Oh, there are people in the shrine. Nope. Don't really care about bugs. Yo, kid. Do you want to talk about death? Do you know about... What do you mean you've no idea? Okay, gotta leave. Floodplain, I guess. I don't know what I'm specifically doing wrong, if it's not... Oh, right. I'd like to hear you out. What quest are you? Need to acquire a modest lamp. I'll take it. There's some others I need to accept at some point, but that's a start. So, Mr. Girl in the shopping district at the start. Oh, did I? I will double check that. If it was that, then that would be embarrassing and annoying. Oh, did I not speak to you? No, I did speak to her. Alright. No, I didn't mean to go to Junez. God damn it. Curses! Do you know anyone suspicious? No, not you. I almost didn't see you. There you go. No, not you. You don't know anyone suspicious. Cat, do you know anyone suspicious? Okay. Doesn't look like you'll find any more info on a suspicious person. I'll go to the riverbank quickly, but that should be it. I don't know what we do now, though. You need to eventually meet up at Aya's, but I don't know what we do specifically from that point on. You have to give her information, but... Oh, do I need to talk about, like the first point, like, about those murders? Yeah, probably. I probably have to talk about every dialogue option. No, you don't wait a day specifically. I mean, like... The guide I'm saying just says, talk to everyone in town about the murders, and if they've seen anyone suspicious, eventually the team will meet up at Aya's Chinese restaurant. Like, what do you need from me? It says it's on this day where it happens. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. Leave the shopping district. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing wrong here. Seemingly nothing. Go into town. Go back to the floodplain. Talk to everyone again. See what happens. Tell me, what am I missing? There we go. Yep, you had to do every dialogue option. Sweet. Cool. Good stuff. Alright. Here we go.
I'm seriously pooped. This stuff's a lot harder when you don't have a badge to flash. I walked around all day and didn't hear anything good.
It was the same for me. There was absolutely no talk about the case whatsoever, let alone the true culprit.
Ditto for me. Actually, in my case, I kept getting bombarded with questions and couldn't get them onto the main subject at all. The killer must be pretty good to have pulled this off without being seen by anyone in this small town.
What should we do?
Well, one steak bowl, please.
That's not what I meant. But then again, I guess we might as well take a break. I'll have a crab and egg fried rice.
I'll have roast pork ramen with extra noodles.
Oh, now that our tummies are full, let's share what we learned, even if it wasn't much. So, to sum up, there really was no new information. The end?
The police had an unusually large number of officers in their initial investigation of the first two incidents. To find facts that even they overlooked would be difficult indeed, now that over half a year has passed. There wasn't a single report of suspicious persons being witnessed to begin with. Miss Yamano had ardent fans, whereas Saki-san didn't, but otherwise the conditions are the same.
You know, every time I tried to ask about the case, everyone ignored me and kept ranting about the damn fog.
Yeah, that or the Midnight Channel. I asked around about Teddy too, but no one's seen him. Gee, I wonder where he could have gone.
Do you have anything, Naoto? Any new, deductions?
Without any new data to work with, there isn't much I can do. But there must be someone in town who meets all the criteria for this case. The killer must have a connection to both Saki-san and Miss Yamano, as well as be in a position to observe our actions periodically to some extent. Finally, it must be someone who could approach Senpai's house without arousing suspicion. I need some fresh air before I give it more thought. I'll be outside.
Here we go.
It's snowing. No wonder it's chilly.
It's freezing out here. Maybe this will help clear my head and get my deductive muscles flexing. Hey, is it snowing? Too bad the fog's so thick. The snow just gets lost in it.
It's urgent that you get over the roadblock facing you. The clues you need must already be in your hands.
What's the matter?
You should go over everything you know one more time. The culprit had some sort of connection to both Mayumi Yamano and Saki Kanishi. And judging by the warning letters, the culprit most likely knows about the other side and what you did there. It's highly likely that they also knew what Namatame was doing and stood back to watch. Who would know all these things? Another oddity about the case is that there were almost no witnesses. Both warning letters seem to have been delivered directly to your house, but no one saw anyone suspicious. No one unusual was seen around Mayumi Yamano or Saki Kanishi either. Despite the police dispatching an unusually high number of officers to perform a thorough investigation, there must be someone in this small town who fits all the facts. The person who seems to be the most likely culprit is... No. Yosuke did not know Mayumi Yamano. Chie did not know Mayumi Yamano. Yukiko was the person who was hosting at the inn. But she did not know Saki Kanishi. Fun fact, Yukiko was originally planned to be the killer. And they scrapped that idea, I think, fairly early on. But also, I feel like remnants of it remains in the way that Yukiko speaks. Like, if you think back to the camp scene, she threatens to smother Hanako because she's so loud and snoring. That's a remnant of that, I think. So I think the reason they didn't do it is because they couldn't find a way to make her like a party member a threat, you know? Like, with the way this game works, where if they're in your party, they're not in their party, they don't level up, that would be a huge problem, especially if you're using Yukiko as a teammate, one of your really powerful teammates is gone, and you're left with 3 and 1 dud, which is a big problem, especially late game. The other flip side thing is, if they're not on your team, then they have no experience whatsoever, so why would they be this powerful? You know, like, there's a lot that goes into it. So, yes, they could have just shared experience, but this game doesn't. And that's why it wouldn't work in that respect. But it's also why there are other games that have shared experience. I won't say what game, and I won't say what happens in any of it, but there's a game that does like shared experience, and there's someone in that I was like, okay, the second I knew shared experience happens, I was like, right, they're up to something. Like, that was immediately my giveaway, because I knew something was going to happen. I just didn't know how. I was like, right, that's it. So, it's interesting. Teddy is not from this world. It is not possible to be Teddy. He would not know Mayumi Yamano. Kanji might have met Mayumi Yamano, being based around because of what his mum does, but at the time he was doing very different things. Rise was not in Inaba at the time. Naoto might have been in Inaba, but was very much focused on other stuff. Dojima is connected to all of them, but I'm pretty sure he didn't know anything about Mayumi Yamano, or like he wasn't really in charge of dealing with Mayumi Yamano at the time of the beginning. So, yeah, there's no reason. Also, why would he give us a warning letter? It's obviously not him. She's the murderer. Would that be physically possible? Even assuming she can enter the TV, she would have to carry victims who would more than twice her size. It would be absurd to suspect her as the killer. Oh, man. For the sake of the suffering child and her father, you must find the true culprit. Oh, I need to rethink this. Oh, I was wrong. No. You get 3 shots. So, yeah. Toru Adachi. Well, he's a police officer, so he might have had connections to both of them, but he's just a bumbling fool, right? I don't know. Taro Namatame. Well, we know that it's not Taro Namatame. He was genuinely trying to save people. Mayumi Yamano. Unlikely? Considering she's extremely dead, it's quite unlikely. Same reason. Mitsuru Kubo definitely did not do the first two. He was a copycat. Possible, but had an alibi. Kashiwagi? No. No reason. Aebihara? I mean, yeah, no. There's no reason for it to be these people at all. Like, why? Think once again. It is, of course, Adachi. And I thank you, everyone in chat, from part 1 to now, for not actually saying anything. I think there was one instance really early on, but I think it wasn't a huge specific giveaway. And I think for YouTube, I was able to splice between the two videos, so it wasn't actually shown on YouTube. So genuinely, thank you for not giving away the ghost. I was worried that, like, whenever Adachi came in, someone might be like, oh man, I don't trust him or whatever. But no one did that. Everyone went along with the whole, he's a bumbling fool kind of guy, or oh, he's funny, or whatever. But it is indeed Adachi, and the amount of... it's fascinating to play this game knowing the answer from the beginning. Because it changes a lot. Like, there's a lot you notice once you know, and it's awesome. Of course, if you look only at the circumstances, you can't completely rule out that possibility. Adachi may have been able to keep an eye on your actions. He would have been able to approach your house with ease, and he knows the area well. Thinking about it, you encountered him many times while investigating the case. You learned much about the police's movements from Adachi as well. There is no exact reason to doubt him, but something is bothering you. However, should you tell your friends about your suspicions about Adachi being the culprit? Did you know that in Persona 4 Golden, if you have got his social link to this point, you can get a second bad ending where you protect Adachi? Let's do it. There is more than enough possibility, and you can't say for sure that he isn't. Are you sure you don't want to tell your friends? Protect Adachi. You cannot think of anyone else but Adachi who could have been the culprit, but you don't want to hand him over as the culprit. You decide to keep it within your heart without telling your friends.
It looks like our only option is to stay patient and continue our investigation. But
yeah,
regardless,
I have only seen this once, and I barely remember it, so I'm looking forward to this as well.
He has already been arrested.
So, no matter what we do, the case might be over now?
Though the truth will be forever lost in darkness.
Well, for us, it's more like... it's lost in the fog.
So yeah, if you didn't know about this, it's pretty good. Annoyingly, that means I have to do the whole search for the people again, but... oh well. Shortly after, you found a letter that Teddy left behind.
I'm going...
We've seen this already. Is this going to go straight to the actual ending? Oh, interesting. There might be a second way to do this. Because there is a thing where you actually talk to Adachi. But it might not be this, unless you do it now. Oh, don't we leave on the 21st? Maybe we do it now. Was it really the right thing to not tell your friends about Adachi? This is probably the last day you can see Adachi. Yes, yes, let's go. Fucking let's go. Yeah, this is it. You decide to see Adachi. Yes, boy. Let's go. I'm so excited for this.
Sorry, were you waiting long? Man, things have been so busy. I've been putting in a crazy amount of overtime. Well, anyway, what's with the sudden visit? Can I help you with something? Do what? Me? Kill Mayumi Yamano and Saki Konishi? What's this about? Are you serious? Oh, come on. Even if you're kidding, this is a pretty bad joke. Did you forget? You're the ones who brought Namatame in. Oh, I get it. You're still playing detective. Okay. Say I am the culprit. What did you come here to do? Convince me to turn myself in? So, what? Are you trying to blackmail me? Well, listen up. Unlike you, we police aren't made of time. We still haven't even cleaned up Namatame's mess. Besides, you don't have any proof that I did it. Well, are you gonna keep playing detective? You're on my side? Are you trying to be the hero or something? No, wait. You're saying you're on the killer's side. In front of a police officer. Do you understand what that means? I see. Wait here a sec. Do you remember this? It's the threatening letter that got sent to your house. I accidentally forgot to forward it over to forensics. I'm sure it was just a prank, but maybe it was connected to the murders. Who knows? This might be the piece of evidence that could turn this whole case upside down. The real killer wouldn't want the police to have this. But you're with me, right? So if I'm the real killer, and you're with me, then that makes you my partner in crime. Isn't that right? If I send this to forensics, they might pull some evidence off it. Maybe a clue to capturing the real killer. You, your friends, and Dojima-san have all been busting your asses for a whole year to solve this case. It's a damn shame that no one's caught the real killer yet. Well...
Goodbye, letter. Burns down the entire precinct. Whoops, my bad.
You actually did it! Do you understand what you just did?
That face, oh my god.
You destroyed evidence. That's a crime, you know? Now, this little incident is covered up forever. All because of you. And it's the police's duty to keep tabs on those who've committed crimes.
I mean, like you're gonna hear him normally. It's not like he went out though. He's like 1 meter in front of you, man.
If you get calls from this number, you better pick up. There's no use changing your number. Don't underestimate the Japanese police. It's easy to track you down.
Your decision was monstrous. Max rank! Yeah, baby! We did it! Oh man, I'm so glad we maxed out the Jester Arcana. What a beautiful thing. Totally worth it. You've forged a bond that cannot be broken. You're a massive bastard.
You want to find the truth without being swayed by the voices of society. But the truth is a sinister thing. It seems like something absolute, yet it exists in everyone's hearts. For you, this was the truth. Well, I'm going back, so be careful on your way home. The fog is getting thicker and thicker after all. Goodbye, partner.
You nailed it. Well done.
Now, a follow-up report on the serial kidnapping and murder case that shook Inaba last year. Defendant Taro Namatame has confessed to committing the multiple kidnappings that previously seemed irrelevant. However, he continues to flatly deny his involvement in the first two murders. With so much unknown regarding his motives and methods, many are hoping his trial will shed some light on these mysteries. Up next is our fog forecast for today.
Fog is still covering the town, but it should soften somewhat this week with the coming of spring. Today and tomorrow we'll see fairly light amounts of fog as usual. Saturation from then on is still to be determined. If you have travel plans, please be mindful of visibility conditions.
It's almost time for your train. You ready to go? Too bad Nanako couldn't leave the hospital in time to say goodbye. A little more time and maybe she could have come outside. Feel free to come visit any time.
Poor
okay?
girl. She's been in
Say hi to
hospital
your
for
parents
4 months.
There's no doubt he's the one who put Nanako through all this. But the more I interrogate him, the more I start to question myself. Did Namatame really murder 2 people? I see. Well, here's hoping it all comes out in our investigation. In any case, there haven't been any more bizarre incidents lately. Here's hoping Inaba goes back to its usual quiet self and stays that way. Well, we should get going. Your friends are probably waiting at the station. Come on.
Didn't that go well? You did just miss a bad ending, yes. It was a doozy. We got to befriend Adachi.
You really are leaving us. You know, it was overdue quick.
It's going to get boring without you around, Senpai.
You will visit, won't you?
We'll come immediately if anything happens on your end. Be sure to take good care of yourself.
Take care. Keep in touch, okay? I'll reserve a room for you at the Amagi Inn the next time you come.
Well, I'll see ya. You really helped us out with lots of stuff. Thanks, partner.
Well, that went well, didn't it? We nailed it. Sad credits number 2. Coming right up. And we cannot skip this. So, cool. I'm gonna quickly, just briefly, turn off my webcam. Just because I need to go to the bathroom. Be right back. I'm in PJs, that's why. Sadness envelops us all. I can turn the webcam back on now. Well, I'm back. Well, magic happened. But yes. Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? So, I think there is a second Adachi bad ending. I think. I might be wrong. I think that's on like the 7th, if I'm understanding this correctly. So, I will try and do that. But yeah. So, what we'll do is we'll get to the point where we're choosing, and we'll go through that plot holes, all that plot stuff, and we'll get the rest of it done. For it's exciting. It's fun to explore the different endings because they are interesting. Yeah, you can't skip this. But yeah, it's just surreal, like, that you can befriend Adachi. It's a genius idea, but it's like, it must be really hard creating a social link like that. How do you create a bond with the killer without giving it away? It needs to give you enough that you might have doubts, but also so little that you can't see it coming. Just like the rest of the game. And when you spend more time with them, that's a lot harder to do than you'd think. But yes, it's really interesting. And it's a testament to the writers of this game. Because yeah, like, it would be so easy to just write in something that's like, oh yeah, no, like just a slip of the tongue kind of thing. And that would be your giveaway. If you got that far, you know. But yeah, it's fascinating. And what's really interesting, the more social links you have, the more who show up in that like section at the end where it's like, who is the culprit? It's like, well, that's like, that opens up like 30 people. Like, who is it? And I love that it's got Mayumi there as well. Like, Walter White, you got me. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing though, like that kind of foreshadowing is different though, because like, from the outside in, you know that Walter's a bad guy. You've known that since day one. And the only thing you don't know is when the clues are going to line up. In this scenario, we do not know who the culprit is. Not definitively. So it's interesting. Nice. Yeah, you're not free. Yeah, that is dark, and also well done. I'm gonna save on that slot, I think.